Hello everyone, this is Rick and welcome to Astral Club. This is Q&A number 22. Before we get started, just want to mention we have a couple new patrons on Patreon. Cisco is an Astral Scout and LK is an Astral Scout as well. And they've joined the many other supporters of Astral Club on Patreon. And they get non-commercial advanced videos on Sunday, and we can talk back and forth easily and answer questions, and they can give me their comments and have a good little time. Next up is private lessons. Anyone interested in having a private lesson in astral projection with me? You can start astral projecting, you can overcome your fears, you can gain more control and increase the frequency of your present astral projections. If any of this is of interest, you will find the email for contacting me for more information on private lessons in the description, and of course you will find the Patreon link in the description as well if you decide to join the supporters supporting this great work of astral projection. You'll find that link in the description. Let's get started. The first video I want to talk about is the Astral Cord. This is the video where I just talked about my knowledge and the knowledge of Robert Bruce concerning the Astral Cord, which of course is the connecting fiber type material that connects the physical to the astral body while the astral body is on its many journeys. It of course acts as a lifeline to bring you back and to help you return to your body no matter how far in space, time, dimensions you go. Now, Dan Palladino asks, why can I never see my astral cord? You have to tune your vibrations, like tuning in one of the old-fashioned radio stations to get the exact signal. There's many times I was unable to see my astral cord. I just recall one time I actually wanted to see it. I willed myself to see it, and I kind of varied my frequencies until I did see it. And it appeared to me like a number of very fine fiber optic cables connecting my astral self all the way down to Earth, because I was in space at the time. It's, as far as I know, infinitely stretchable in time, space, and dimensions. Number 2, Chaz76 asks, what if you get stuck to your physical body after death and the astral cord won't let go? I have never heard of that happening. When physical death occurs, final physical death, the astral cord severs, and it knows when the final time comes. So there's no mistaking here. So you don't have to worry about that. It won't become severed until the physical body is through. It is done, and you are ready to move on. Number 3, if you get pulled back, oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, I don't have that person's name written down here. I'm sorry about that. Number 3, if you get pulled back when you feel extreme emotions, wouldn't it be impossible for you to get stuck in the supermassive black hole trap like the counselor did? Well, my response is this. The trap that I was caught in was specially designed to get around that safeguard. You had 2 supermassive black holes, and I was given a precise coordinate to visit. And when I got there, I was perfectly trapped. Luckily, this is virtually impossible. I would say, as close to impossible as you can get without reaching the total number of 0 for the average astral projector, because there are so few places like this in the known universe, and that I had to go to a very specific coordinate in order to be trapped there. And that if it wasn't for my abilities to time travel, I'd probably still be there. But for the average astral projector, no, there's as close to 0 as you can possibly get, going out 0.0000000, another billion zeros, and then maybe put a 1 on the end of it. So that's what happened to me, and it's not something that the average person needs to worry about. Next up was a video that I think everyone enjoyed, and it was how astral projection changes you. In this video, I described how many of my experiences in time and space and dimensions gave me a very different way of looking at life here on Earth, in general, my life, my place in the cosmos. It profoundly changed everything about me, from my outlook to my very being. So it has a very deep effect on anyone who does it. Sure, astral projection, you get to have some interesting adventures, but sometimes the more profound ones aren't very action-packed, but they force you to look inward, which of course is the scariest place to look. Most people would rather look at the scariest movie that they've ever seen rather than to look inside themselves, because that's an even scarier prospect for us. Okay, number 5. Chime, Photios, and Lightning Round had some great comments about the video. Chime said that they sat in silence for a moment after the video. He observed that we humans don't appreciate the present moment nearly enough, and I can certainly second that. When you return from a very distant time trip where you were on a lifeless earth, you appreciate the simple smell of a tree after the rain, the chirping of the birds, the smell of flowers. It all becomes precious, and you realize that you never really appreciated it before. Photios said that astral projection can give us a crucial paradigm shift, that we need to put our current human existence into a much broader cosmic perspective. Well said. Lightning Round, and I'm paraphrasing here because he had a great long comment, and if you want to read the whole thing, you should go back and read it. But paraphrasing it, said that these are the videos that he finds truly edifying. Astral projection helps us expand ourselves and in our worldview. And when confronted again with ordinary life, we have the choice to constrict back to normal or allow ourselves to expand to our potential. Well said as well. Number 6, Symbionic Titan asks, is there a way to stop reincarnating through astral projection? I would say a definite partial yes. Astral projection allows you to learn lessons, expand your horizons, expand your ability and your chances to learn lessons that you otherwise would not have been able to easily do, perhaps in your physical life. So it is very possible that astral projection can assist you in getting the physical education that you came here to get, such that it will no longer be necessary for you to incarnate on the third dimensional earth plane, but instead move on to another sphere of existence. Mang Can Or said, "Your story about seeing our galaxy from far outside gave me the old pleasurable sensation in the spine." And believe me, I can second that, because just as I said it, just as I'm thinking about seeing it again, I get that same sensation up and down my spine. It's just, I guess it's just a physical manifestation of awe. And thank you for reminding me of that, because I just got this sensation myself as well. In the next video, we're talking about astral time travel. And I just discussed some of the effects and some of the logistics of astral time traveling into the past and the future in this video. Channel 2491 asks, if the past can't be changed, how did you write that math equation in the sand with the croc's body? One of my observations when trying to answer this question is that I didn't actually change the past. I was simply part of that 75 million years ago past. And that all I did when I astral projected was complete that cycle or circle of time. So that croc always wrote that 2 plus 2 equals with that misshapen 4. It was always done. And all I did was just complete, complete the cycle. I've had other thoughts about this as well. I've mentioned in the past that it's impossible to go into the body of another human, because each human has a vibrational frequency that is particularly keyed to that astral body. However, I have found that it has been possible in the past, present, and future to enter the bodies of at least wild animals. I've never tried it with domesticated animals for whatever reason. Certainly the wild animals don't have this protective frequency that humans do. And as I said, I don't know about domesticated animals, but I often thought, what if, when Abraham Lincoln was in his carriage and going to the play Our American Cousin, where he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. What if I went into the body of a dog and then tried to bark and maybe scare the horse, and so that the carriage passed by the theater somehow? I don't know. Trying to change the past would be hard enough. We've all seen the movies. But trying to do it from the body of an animal, I imagine it would be infinitely more difficult. Keep in mind, all of this second part is just my speculation. I have never attempted such a thing, and I don't believe it would work for one reason or another. So I'll just let it rest right there. Okay, next up is 7 and VX Nilla. It would be so much easier if somebody said vanilla, but no, it's VX Nilla. So, okay. Everybody tries to make these things hard for me to say. Do you have any sketches of the things you've seen in your future or other astral projection travels? Unfortunately, my artistic ability reached its pinnacle, its zenith, if you will, when I was in second grade, and I made a clay dinosaur pencil holder. So that's it. I really can't draw. And it's a shame because I have all these images stuck in my head. Now, I do have a patron who does like to sketch, and he sent me a number of his sketches, i.e., links to those sketches. I don't know whether he wants to be put out there because he sent them to me privately. If he would like to post those sketches in some comment section to allow people to access them, he is free to do so. However, I don't put people out there when they send me something individually. And he posted a number of sketches to me of the giant megalodon that I saw, of my trip 10 million years in the future to those intelligent bat-like creatures and the creature that attacked me. So he has, that type of artistic ability, but unfortunately I do not. Number 8, Symbionic Titan. Is there a limit to how far you can time travel? Well, I don't know for certain. I have traveled as far back in time as around 75 million years. I have traveled billions of years into the future when our sun became a red giant and consumed. It's hard to talk about this. Which tense do you use? Because if I saw the earth consumed, it's past tense. But if it doesn't happen into the future, it means will consume. You see how confusing this can get. At any rate, I went billions of years into the future where I saw the earth destroyed. I've never gone further than that, so it's difficult to say if there is some sort of a time limit. Who knows? I can't answer that for certain. Number 9. Did you ever try to have a conversation with future Ricks to ask for guidance? My answer is no. I have faith in my growth and my service to humanity. Besides, I make a practice never to listen to what I have to say. Number 10, ya boy. Hope I said that right. When you said count up or backwards, and to travel in time, did you mean to literally count all the years one by one, or just keep the year in mind? Yeah, that would be a bit tedious if you wanted to travel 500 million years into the future, if you had to count literally one by one. This is the process that I've used in the past. I will fly faster and faster, and I'll start by counting days, weeks, months, and then years. And if I do it right, I'll find myself in what I call a time channel. It feels like you're being stretched, and the scenery around you will change very fast. As soon as that happens, and I mean literally, as soon as that happens, you must hold your goal year in mind firmly and will yourself to that time and space, because probably within a few seconds you're going to lose consciousness. If you don't hit a time channel, well, you can count away as much as you want and you're not going to go anywhere and nothing's going to happen. As I've gotten better over the years, I've had a higher percentage chance of hitting the time channels. But still to this day, I miss it for whatever reason and I don't go anywhere. But that is the basic process that I use. So no, you don't have to count 1 to a billion in order to get a billion years in the future, because that would be extremely tedious. Next up, these questions and statements come from Freeing the Monster Left Behind. Photios was kind enough to compliment me on my sense of honor in fulfilling my promise to Toadman/William to return to rescue him from the subastral hell. Personally, I don't think I deserve really any praise. I gave my word that I would do that. And I guess I'm old-fashioned enough to believe that when you give your word that you're going to do something, that you are now bound by that promise, and that no matter what it costs or might cost you, you must fulfill that promise. And whenever I think of this topic, and certainly this comes up during wars and other very extreme times in human history. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster." If all I did was lie to get what I wanted and manipulate people to my advantage, then why should I be fighting with the forces against the master if I was every bit as bad as he was? There would be no point. Next up, number 12. Pabrody said he heard a story of someone stuck in the lower astral, held by entities, but it only happens when you become involved with, quote, the big guys. I want to reassure everyone who listens to Astral Club. This is not a Russia and Ukraine situation. Only myself and my fellow Astral Guide School members have been in any way targeted, as well as the other counselors, the angelic beings. The average astral projector is seen as a civilian and a harmless person at that by both sides. So they are in no danger whatsoever. Astral project away. You're not part of the conflict. My wife recently had an astral projection. My daughter has astral projected, and they've had no problems. So I don't want anyone to fear on that count. Alex G. thanked me for giving Toadman William a chance. He responded to your honesty with him by repaying it by revealing the master's trap. Causing someone to do something positive should be one of the most rewarding things in the universe. And I agree, Alex, it is. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, share it with those of like mind. Subscribe, hit that bell. Please keep those questions and comments coming, because that's how we'll get to Q&A number 23. Just want to let you know that I made another trip to the Gray's Planet, this time for tourism. This was on my own will. And I had some interesting contacts, and I'll tell you about those this coming Saturday. At any rate, this is Rick, and as always, I will see you on the astral plane.